begin with third unit under performance management subject. It's called as budgeting and control. The contents to be covered under this chapter are budgetary systems and the types of budget, quantitative analysis in budgeting, standard costing, material mix and variances, sales mix and quantity variances, planning and operational variances. So these are the contents that we'll be studying in this chapter. So the focus is on majorly in this chapter, the practical concept. We're going to study three major 15 marker questions under practical, flexible budget, cash budget and variances. So the rest of them are theory, just the basic meanings of concepts that will be asked for section A. Let's begin. Let's understand what is a budget. A budget is merely a plan relating to a period of time expressed in quantitative terms. So, budget is given or done by every company irrespective of their size or industry, right? Now, what exactly is this budget? In simple layman terms, you're planning. Okay, so you're planning for the upcoming expenses and the incomes. Okay, and there's a definite time period, okay, for the next 1 year or for the next 6 months. You are looking ahead what could be your possible expenses, losses, incomes, gains, etc. And all these planning is always expressed in the terms in quantitative terms. So we can just orally also tell the sales price might go up by 10%. No, but in budget I'm going to see or calculate if my selling price is going to increase by 10%, how would that affect my profits or how would that affect my efficiency of business. So that's about budget. It's a plan for a particular period of time which is always expressed in quantitative terms. It may be defined as a predetermined statement of management policy during a given period which provides a standard for comparison with the actually achieved results. Now, why do we require budget is since we are planning much ahead and estimating what could be the expenses that we incur or what could be the incomes that we are going to gain. So when the reality comes or when we have to face the reality or business operations, then it becomes a platform or a common ways to compare what is the amount I estimated and what is the actual amount that I incurred for a particular transaction or let's say for a particular business decision. So this budget provides a standard or a platform for comparison. Okay, what are you comparing? Whatever that you estimated to that which you are actually achieved in reality. So there are four major objectives to budgetary control, right? Number one is planning. As we just mentioned, a budget is a plan of action. Okay, so this budgeting process, it ensures a detailed plan. Okay, now I'm not just forecasting or estimating, it might change or the market might be in favor of us, not favoring us, etc. I'm not just giving a vague statements, right? The very objective of budgeting is to make sure I plan my expenses, I plan my business operations in terms of if there is any upcoming loss or upcoming risk, how do I tackle it, right? So the very first objective of budgeting is that I remain prepared for my future. So I need to plan for it. So planning is the first objective of budgetary control. Second is coordination. So definitely in order to achieve this budget, you definitely need to coordinate various departments and its activities in a particular organization. Only when all the departments together work in cooperation, or work with support of each other, the budgeted values can be achieved, or the cost minimization can be achieved. Third is control. Controlling is very necessary to ensure that plans and objectives are being achieved, because so often or mostly whatever we plan or think, in reality we might not be able to achieve it, because there are some circumstances or there can be some situations that can go out of our control. So that might increase our expenses, that might increase our losses. So there are possibilities, correct? So another objective here is control. So controls follows planning and coordination. So you're planning and then you coordinate the activities and then you control the performance of your activities or decisions, right? If the part of control is missing, then it's very difficult to achieve your desired results. So controlling the predetermined standards or estimation is important. Number four, elimination of waste and increase in profitability. Now, here we are talking about when we foresee or when we estimate, right, we can avoid when we are planning a certain amount of expenditure, or this is the budget. Within this budget, we must be able to complete a particular project or a plant and machinery installation. So we can try and avoid all the unnecessary expenditures that otherwise can be incurred, and which in turn will increase our profitability. Then to centralize the control system. Now, when the management has a budget prepared, right, for the ahead of period of time, it knows what is the control system, who holds the power of responsibility for different departments, right? So everything is at the end or at the center controlled by the management. So it is important to have a centralized control system, especially in terms of finance, to anticipate capital expenditure for future. Now, what is capital expenditure, or in short, what we call as capex? That is the amount that you plan to invest for long-term assets, right? So you're going to purchase this year. I'm going to continue to use that asset or use that machinery for its lifetime. Okay, so it's a one-time investment, and that's a huge investment. But the returns from that machine you will be earning for the next couple of years, correct? So that is called as capital expenditure. So when you are preparing a budget, you also need to anticipate, if I'm going to take up this project, a particular project A, B, or C, what would be my upcoming capital expenditure in the future? Next, correction of deviations from the established standards. So as and when I keep my plan with me and also check with my reality standards or operations, it helps me to compare, okay, whether my reality standards, or I would say, kind of decisions that I take, is it according to my plan or is it deviating from my plan, right? So therefore I can compare it with my budget or compare it with my plan and keep correcting the deviations, and again I have to establish that particular standard. Fixation of responsibility of various individuals in the organization. Isn't that wonderful? Right? When you give individuals or leaders or department heads the responsibility of their department functions or activities, it becomes easy to track the performance of the organization, because in case there's an error, you know whom to hold accountable. So when you prepare a budget, you also assign duties or responsibilities to various individuals. So these were the objectives why we require budget or budgetary control. Next, we have the types of budget, which is important for this chapter. So we have two bases over here. A based on flexibility, B is based on functions. So under A, we will be doing problems under flexible budget, and under B, that is the second category of budget, all the first 7 are just the theory points. You just need to know the meaning. And the 8th one, that is the cash budget, you will be working out problems. Clear? So let's understand what is budget under the category of flexibility. First one is a fixed budget. So as the name itself suggests, a fixed budget is a budget which is designed to remain unchanged. Okay, fixed means it is not going to change irrespective of the level of production, the level of activity, etc. Right? So fixed budget, remember, will remain unchanged irrespective of the level of output or production. Whereas flexible budget, that is where our focus is going to be. Flexible budget, on the other hand, is designed to change. Okay, so the purpose itself over there is called as flexible. That means based on the level of activity or your decision to increase the production or decrease the production, based on the decisions or the circumstances, the budget can be changed. That's why it is called as flexible budget. So we'll also be doing problems on flexible budget. Next is based on functions. Now we have the first one called as sales budget. Of course, the sales budget will be showing what products will be sold in what quantities and at what prices, correct? So if I have product line A, B, C, D, so I'm going to list there. Product A will be sold at so and so price, B and so price. So that becomes a responsibility of the sales manager in order to fix the selling price or make sure the sales are happening on a continuous basis. Second is selling and distribution cost budget, right? So this budget is going to forecast the cost of selling as well as distributing during the budget period. So we have decided to sell our product for a particular price, let's say. So the next step is there's going to be some selling expenses and distribution expenses to be incurred. So this budget is closely connected with the first one, that is called the sales budget. So depending upon the volume of sales that you're going to be making, your expenses will depend. Third is the production budget. This may be defined as an estimate of quantity of goods that must be produced. So I am preparing a budget for the next 3 months. So I need to know for the next 3 months, how many units am I producing? Okay, is it 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 units? I'm going to understand that. Next, we have purchase budget. Now, this of course is concerned with purchases, again for that particular budget period, right? So it includes purchases of raw materials from various suppliers, at what price, or from which supplier. These decisions will be taken. Next, we have labor budget. It is concerned with the estimation of labor required, whether you want skilled labor, unskilled labor, professional labor, etc., depending upon the budget you have made or the requirement of the organization. Next, we have production overhead budget. Now, this budget represents all production overheads to be incurred during the period. Right? Now we have, if you have, priorly studied, right, cost, we have fixed cost, variable cost, semi-variable cost, correct? So depending on each product line, product A, B, C, D, and so on, depending on these products, okay, what would be the further segregation of fixed cost, variable cost, and semi-variable cost? So all these calculations will be coming under the 6th point. Next, we have capital expenditure budget. this budget expresses the detailed plan of the top management. As I told, capital expenditure is the decision to be made about the purchase of long-term assets. Whether you need to purchase some, or you want to hire on hire purchase system you need to purchase, or is there some improvements or some replacement of the fixed asset you need to do. So all those decisions comes under capital expenditure budget. So eighth one, we have cash budget, which gives an estimate. Okay, the focus again here is cash budget, estimate of the anticipated cash receipts and cash payments, such as you have made sales. Again, sales can be categorized into cash sales as well as credit sales. So in case it is a credit sale, I will be receiving 1 month later or 2 months later. So that calculation I have to be including in cash budget. Same ways in terms of creditors. That is, my supplier may allow me a credit period of 1 month or credit period of 2 months, right? So again, there's going to be a cash outflow in that budget period. So cash budget focuses on cash receipts and cash payments. So we'll be doing further problems on cash budget, which is very interesting. So we have already discussed this, correct, on the basis of flexibility, fixed budget and flexible budget. Next, we have a master budget. This budget combines all the functional budgets into one unit, right? Because it acts as a summary plan for the overall proposed operations. Now here, master budget, as the name itself says, it is a combination of what we have studied over here. Can you see? On the screen, there are so many budgets. So when you combine all of them and prepare, then it becomes a summary plan or a master budget.